Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahana Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitam Astu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om. Namaskar. Welcome to Hinduism in Focus. Let us reflect, let us focus our attention upon this subject of wealth and Hinduism. Does Hinduism make no provision for the acquisition of wealth or enjoyment upon earth? A widespread misconception and criticism of Hinduism is that its philosophy on life is all about otherworldliness. That is to say, the criticism is that Hinduism emphasizes to keep an eye on the afterlife and a constant preoccupation with the soul, renunciation and liberation from the cycle of birth and death. That Hinduism is preoccupied only with these. This observation is based on thoughts and practices that existed during the period when Europeans first came into contact with Hindus of ancient India. One of the common myths about Hinduism is that it considers this world an illusion and therefore encourages Hindus to shun this material world and become ascetics. It is unfortunate also that some of our Hindu preachers gave people such an idea. The main criticism of Hinduism in this regard is that it strains too much on the esoteric, the world of spirit, and that it neglects the present world of matter, which gives us birth, sustenance, and opportunities to realize the world of spirit. But this is not quite true. The primary Hindu scriptures, the Vedas, not only deal with matters relating to God, soul, and salvation, but also make direct references to every aspect of society, political, economic, and social. For example, the Yajur Veda says, Isha Vasam Idam Sarvam Yat Kincha Jagat Yam Jagat Tena Tyaktena Bhunjita Magrida Kasya Svidhanam. Enjoy the resources of the world as a gift of God. Do not covet what belongs to others. This is clear. Discussions on kingdoms and empires, references to democracy and social organization of everyday life are also found in the Vedic texts. Hinduism does not prohibit freedom of inquiry, nor does it prohibit earning wealth and enjoyment upon earth. On the other hand, Hinduism advocates a strong interest in enjoyment of life. Hinduism says, enjoy, but do not end the joy. Hindu sages and philosophers have written on every aspect of Hindu behavior and relationship. For Hindus, acquiring or producing wealth is a legitimate human activity. Why? Even the Sanskrit word for prayer, prarthana, means to seek wealth. Artha, promise towards, for. Arthana, for wealth, seeking wealth. Thus, in Hinduism, praying is synonymous with seeking some kind of reward, some form of wealth. It is very wrong to suggest that Hinduism strays after the other world and neglects this world. Hinduism emphasizes that before attaining moksha, salvation, it is essential for human beings to first enjoy worldly pleasures by creating wealth with hard work and honesty that would also benefit the rest of the society. The Vedas recommend let a person think well on wealth and strive to win it by the path of Dharma and by worship, and let him take counsel with his inner vision and grasp with it the Spirit's still greater ability. Lord Krishna lays special emphasis on work, karma. Niyatam kuru karma tvam karma jyato ya karmanaha sharira yatrapi chaitena prasiddhiyeda karmanaha. Therefore, you must perform your assigned work. For action, working is better than not doing anything. And even the maintenance of your physical body cannot be possible without action. The tenets of Hinduism grade the lifespan of an individual into 4 stages called ashramas. The student stage is brahmacharya. The householder stage, grihastha, family life. Age of retirement we call it vanaprastha, and the wandering ascetic, sannyasa. The first quarter of one's life should be single-mindedly dedicated to learning, that is the brahmacharya stage, acquire life skill and formal education. These prepare him for fulfilling his ambitions for the future. During this period, he is expected to lead a celibate life. Grihastha. The second stage is that of the grihastha, or householder. Of all the ashrams, this is the most important because it supports all the other stages of life. Chaturnam ashramanam hi garhasthyam shreshtham ashramam. Of the 4 ashrams or stages of life, that of the householder is the best. In this stage of life, a person must acquire wealth, get married, enjoy pleasures, and raise a good family. This phase of life is considered extremely important for the development of society at large. The duty of a householder is to create wealth in order to satisfy his own desires, offer a good standard of living for his family, as well as to prepare himself to discharge the broader social obligations. Hindu theology legitimizes acquisitions of wealth. It is lawful and in accordance with the teachings of Hinduism for a person to earn money, lots of it. According to Hindu belief, the main goal of life is to attain moksha or salvation, release from the cycle of birth and death. We know that. One pursues this, however, through various and virtuous living or dharma. Hinduism also recognizes that it is very difficult, if not impossible, to achieve this supreme goal until all legitimate worldly desires and cravings, called kama, are satisfied. It is therefore necessary to follow the path of artha, meaning economic or wealth-producing activities. However, Hindu scriptures caution that during the process of producing wealth, we must not deviate from the path of dharma or righteousness. That is why it is dharma artha. Dharma qualifies artha. Righteousness must be used in acquiring earthly wealth. He should encourage the teaching of the scriptures, practice of daily worship, and encourage religious functions and so on. In the third stage of vanaprastha, when the person sees that his sons and the children of age, he renounces world, transfers all responsibility to them, and he and his dharmapatni retires from worldly activities and spends his time in religious study and meditation. So the sannyasa stage is the last station of the Hindu journey of life. When we are saturated with spiritual knowledge, a person renounces all worldly pleasures and gives up everything: personal identity, family, wealth, material possessions, and all bonds of relationship to become a wandering ascetic. So Hinduism glorified the second stage, the domestic life, considering it the most important one, just as since it supports the other three. The Manusmriti says, just as living beings depend on air for their existence, similarly, domestic life is most crucial as it supports all other stages of life. Hinduism is a way of life, as the scriptures touch upon every aspect of human behavior, activities, and relationship in this world. It will therefore be a fallacy, a false idea to think that it focuses only on renunciation of worldly pleasures and promotion of asceticism. Hinduism is not only of the other world, but also of this world. It is a grave mistake to deny this world. Just as a person who aims for a higher university education must pass through primary and secondary schools, similarly, an aspirant for salvation must have the experience of the lower world school of living, of life living. Therefore, Hinduism strays not so much for the other world, but it also emphasizes that we have a role to play in this world, and let us play that role well. Om Shanti, 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 Hari Om.